Welcome to Notes to Self Live today that I scheduled by myself. I'm a big kid. So, yeah, I'm taking on bigger roles within our community here. So,
I'm just going to let you keep going.
no. So, we came from a polygamous background. I don't know. Do we introduce ourselves or do people know us? So,
Yeah, if they're on our live, they tend to know us. How is everybody doing today? I see. Thank you so much, Julie, for being a member. And we've got Rosa on here today. Yay. Rosa is formerly from the AUB as well and mods for us. And then, yeah, let's see, Alana J. Sorry, I don't know, can't, your name a little bit sketchy for me, but be safe in that hurricane. So you're probably in Hawaii, is what I'm guessing. But yeah, it looks like we got a good amount of people on here.
Punky Beat said, she thought today was Tuesday. It was weird to see the notification. I actually thought today was Tuesday too. I'm like, we're going live today. So yeah, we got that all cleared up. And so I did the scheduling. It was great.
I know. I had a dentist appointment this morning, so I was telling Corey, "Do you think you can hang? Can you handle all that?" And he's like, "Yeah. Did you not see the video I just put out? I totally got this." I'm like, "All right." So,
and then she's watching it and got a little bit of a snicker going on. It really works well when we're both talking together. So,
so I haven't watched that video that Corey did by himself. We were just sitting here watching. He's like, "Okay, enough already." I'm like, "Man, you edited the hell out of this, didn't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I took like 17 minutes out of it." So, thank you, Luna Cat and Sunset, for being members, and nice to see you guys here. Yes, Hawaii. So my sister and her family were in Hawaii on vacation last week. I don't actually know if they're back yet or not. It's her. I'll bet they're still in Hawaii right now. It's her birthday and her daughter's birthday this weekend, so they went out there for their birthdays. But so she's like, well, even though we're in the middle of a hurricane, it's still wonderful out here. So she's still enjoying it. Let me try to pull this up over here. There, that way I can see the chat over here. So, it's Thursday. It's Thursday where you are. A and B toss. I slaughter these names. Sorry. So, but as you can see by the title of this, the fear of offending, why former polygamists still defend the lifestyle. I said to Corey, "Can you come up with a title for today and a thumbnail and everything?" And this big boy got it all down by himself. So This is the title that he picked. So you were wanting to talk about this, huh?
Well, just that has been a fear of mine.
Yeah.
I didn't even acknowledge that I came from people who hung around with me long enough realized, holy crap, your parents were busy. You had a lot of kids in your family, because as somebody gets to know me, they start, another family member, another brother, another sister, holy cow. And so get to know me long enough, you would see that I didn't talk about it. I didn't inform people. And it was something that was trained in us to be quiet about it, not to speak out, not even to speak out about, if you spoke out while you're a part of it too, you would be shamed and muted. And so you didn't, you just had your opinions that very few people around you knew about. And you just stayed quiet while you're being raised and after you left. And Melanie started talking out about it. And I was like, all right, if she can do it, I can do it, because I'm funny. So I can make fun of them. So
that's sweet. Yeah. Welcome. We got somebody on here from Mongolia. That's crazy. Nice. Welcome, Carly. That's
cool. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
From across the world.
So yeah, a lot of people, I'm curious about that too. A lot of people do defend polygamy, even after they've already left it. We've seen that with Christine.
With a lot of people.
And again, my opinion on it, I felt like I did for a while. It's almost like I can hack on my parents, but the minute someone else hacks on my parents, then I tend to defend them. And it kind of feels that way a little bit when you're coming from something that's all you were taught and raised your entire life. And you do see some of the positive things. That's why in our videos we try to point out some of the positive things. And because when somebody starts to attack it, then you start to feel a little bit like, well, wait a second, that's not the only thing. Go ahead.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't know. I was aware because of grandparents and things like that, that there was another way to live. But I would have to say most of my parents believed, and yet, and so they lived the faith, thinking that it was going to get them into heaven, and this was the only way. And so they overlooked a lot of red flags. They overlooked a lot of injustices.
I would say severe traumas.
Yeah.
not necessarily red flags, but I mean both.
But they overlooked those things because they were living a higher faith. So they went into polygamy wholeheartedly, thinking that this was going to get them and their children into the kingdom of heaven. But when those red flags, when it started to look like a cult, they overlooked the cultish behavior, going, well, it needs to look a little cultish so that you're
justified in leaving.
Yeah. And so they basically overlooked a lot of the cult portions of it. And even later on in life, they're like, yeah, I don't support this portion of it. So a lot of families within there do listen to the doctrine, listen to what the leaders say, and then pick and choose how they want to live it.
Right.
And so every family has a different kind. So there are some things that I enjoyed growing up in polygamy. I love my siblings, my brothers and sisters. I love a lot of things about it. I just wouldn't. I wanted to eliminate probably 75% of the stuff that we
well, and then our parents always threw that in our face. Well, which one of the kids would you give back?
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, I have a handful of them. I'd get rid of these ones.
I gave them a list of who I'd give back, and I was at the top of the list. Give me to a rich family. So
I got born into this poor broke family. This sucks. So I like what Rosa says here. I think sometimes we try to defend people who often have good intentions, which may still be perceived as defending the belief. I know I have no love lost for the dogma, but I love the people still. Yeah. And that's what's so hard, especially as we talk about this. It is hard because there's so many people that I love too, and they do messed up shit because that's what they were taught to do. And so we will try to give an example or something on one of our lives or one of our videos that we're doing. And I'm like, but I still love this person. Yeah. It's just this polygamy tends to bring out the worst side of people because you're putting yourself in very extreme circumstances and very extreme emotions. And not everyone handles that very well. And so when you get thrown into these situations, the ugly side of you comes out. And I know that I've surprised myself. When my ex-husband was courting another girl, I surprised myself with how I reacted a few times. I did not expect to react that way. I was like, oh no, I'm Christ-like, I'm loving, I'm doing all these things. And then I watch him over there flirting with his potential new girlfriend, new wife, with my baby, and I lost my ever-loving mind.
Jealousy raised its ugly head.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, Warren, I was 18 years old and did not have enough emotional intelligence at the time, or enough self-reflection at the time. And so I behaved in a manner that I was like, who was that? And then when the dust settles and you're sitting there like, what the hell where did that side of me come out?
Yeah. Some of the best people, most loving people that I know come from
Yeah.
polygamy, and some of the worst people on the planet come from polygamy. It's a nice little mix
Yeah.
of all of them. It definitely tries your patience and brings out the some people step up and are so faithful and do go above and beyond, and other people's just prey upon them. And so, and it's kind of nice to see, especially as a child
Hmm.
growing up in it, because I saw the drastic drastic changes in different people. Some people that were so cruel and so mean and so righteously justified in their stuff, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want to be anything like them. And
Yeah.
so
Well, and that's what's hard for us going back and watching. If any of you guys are following, like most of you are following our channel, then we're going back and watching episodes of Sister Wives, and this can be tricky because some of the things that these women are doing is it's sad because we love. I mean, I have always gotten along with Mary. I've always gotten along with Christine, and yet some of the things that they do, I want to point them out when they
because we're
weaponize their emotions. And that's the problem that you have a lot with this religion is people weaponize their emotions and then they use them against each other. And so we're trying to point out the behavior, not necessarily that that person is bad because of the situation that they're in. I really appreciate this comment too. I think we defend it part of a reflex to say that we weren't broken for being a part of it.
yeah.
I think that is so true because when I hear people start, tearing on like, oh, how is that to have a cult leader as a father? I'm like, my first instinct is, but that doesn't make me bad.
Yeah.
And so then I feel like I'm having to like, well, it is weird. So either I have to swing, I feel like I have to swing all the way to, yeah, that's crazy shit, isn't it? To, well, it's not that bad. And so I totally agree with that comment that sometimes we personalize things when they're said to us like that. And I like this one too. Many of the Brown children defended it too.
Yeah.
And they still do, even though they have nothing to do with it, because there are some good sides to it. And it's almost like you want to, I'm reading this book right now. Well, I finished the book today. And it says when you get to the end of your life, you're not always going to remember all of the super, super hard parts of your life. You're going to remember that you had trials that you got through, but for the most part, you're going to glaze over the happy parts of your life.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's what we try to do when you're a product or a child of a religion like this. It's like you want to try to remember the happy parts so that, and it's almost like a coping mechanism. You have to do that or you could fall into the depths of despair because it can be so daunting of a lifestyle.
So as an adult, I still have three mothers in my life,
Yeah.
part of my life. And depending on what, I still can pick up the phone and talk to each one of them about something that might be going or something that they went through.
Yeah.
And all three of those mothers of mine really care about me
Yeah.
to this day and will give me some awesome, good feedback. Some of them wish that I was still a part of it. So it comes with a little bit of um, dogma on that, some of it. But for the most part, I have three women in my life, three mothers that care about me
Mhm.
and
Well, and care
love
about our
me.
children
And
too.
yeah, they're great grandmothers. They're great mothers to me. And so that was a benefit. Could I have had three people in my life that impacted my life? Because I have other people that weren't married to my dad that also
Mhm.
care about me too.
Yeah.
And so, can you get that same benefit without polygamy? I think you can. I think our kids have
Mhm.
aunts and uncles that are there for them too. So you can create that. What is it? Township, or what do they call it? Community.
Yeah.
And not necessarily have to be married to all of those.
But see, as a
people's
child
lives.
growing up, you had your other mothers, and if they were kind, well, at least for me,
Mhm.
when they were kind to me, my thoughts were, what do you want? What do you need? Because because we grew up in such a transactional society, that it was like, what do you want? What do you need? Now, as an adult, if they're nice to me, it's like, I don't feel like they have any purpose. They're just trying to be nice. And so I've really had to adjust my thinking when it comes to stuff like that. But I do believe that you're right. We fundamentally don't want to feel broken. And we come from a society that teaches people not to communicate. There's a lot of brokenness about it.
Mhm.
And so it's really hard. And I love this comment. I've always wondered why people don't believe that just being a good person is good enough. Then how do you justify not being a good person just because they follow the dogma? And I absolutely agree with this. This is another reason why I let my children make their own choices when it comes to religion, because some of the worst people that I know came from fundamental religions, deep rooted, and they justify being a horrible person because it follows their teachings, it follows their dogma, it follows what I mean. How do you justify blood atonement on somebody's head because you believe that what you're doing is the right thing? But when you believe what you're doing is the right thing and it takes away the free will of someone else, that is not the right. I don't care what religion you are. When you take away someone else's free will, there's nothing righteous or holy about that. That's the whole point why we're on the earth, is because we have free will.
There's some dogma. We were taught really young as kids that we fought a war in heaven for free
will.
agency. And then we come down here and told that you had the right to choose what the leaders told you to choose. So,
Yeah.
well, that's
when no's not, when
they
yes is the only answer. Is
Yeah.
it really free will?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They trick you into thinking you had a choice.
Yeah.
So
Was giving your dad back an option instead of giving one of your parents or one of your
Mhm.
siblings back. So just saw you guys on watching Tony and McKelty and talk about it. They have a religious scholar on talking about polygamy. Yeah, they have Benjamin. Oh, now his last brain. I follow him on all the social medias. He does a lot of breakdowns. I found him through Moroni Jessup, or Punk Rock Polygamist. He's better known on TikTok. And Benjamin Parks, he's the one that they talked with, and I follow a lot of his stuff. He's actually very spot on a lot of things historically. He's somebody that I would never go up against because I don't know doctrine the way Corey does. I don't know history of the church the way Corey does. It's somebody that it's like, yeah, I'm never going to get there with you. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, listen, yeah. In these kind of situations, you're taught to only listen to authority. You're not allowed to listen to your own nervous system or brain power to know something is wrong. And go ahead.
No, you were actually told that
if it contradicted what was being taught over the pulpit, then you are wrong.
And that we are natural man. And so you really had to be guided by the leaders, because our natural instinct was to do wrong, and so you were taught to question your every gut feeling or thought process and listen to the leaders. And then you'd watch the leaders do stuff that was against what you thought you were being trained up or taught to be, and then they would justify their behavior through what's their famous line, righteous anger or something like that, that they could do what they wanted and act poorly because they had righteous anger,
right?
But the rest of us, you couldn't disagree. So
yeah, well,
it was enjoyable to.
Yeah, this one we have to go beyond intention and also consider impact. I love this perspective too, because in Sister Wives, you hear Robin say, well, I know the intent of my heart. And I watched really what I thought were good people do really shitty things to other people. I've watched that my whole life. And this is what they would come back with. Well, God knows the intent of my heart. And yet,
even though my actions and everything that I just created was poorly taken,
the impact that they had on the people around them was horrible. So yeah, I do feel like we there is a sense of some of our own identity in the way that we were raised, in the way that,
Mhm.
and also in situations where you have lived this lifestyle your entire life and you've raised your children in it. You've done all of these things. That's a hard pill to swallow at a later point in life when you're like, well, I was wrong. And now you have children that you've left in, like, in not necessarily, my mom doesn't have any children in there, but to get to that point of your life and then leave, that is hard because then it's like, did I just throw away my whole life? Did I just waste my whole life? And so again, I feel like what happens, especially in, I mean, I can talk about it, the AUB, especially in the AUB, is people find one or two truths, and that's what they hold on to. And that's what they use to justify everything else that happens, are those one or two truths. And then they go, God witnessed this to me. I have a testimony of this. I have a testimony of this person. And so then they can never let go of those truths, because if they do, are they a fraud?
Mhm.
So, I mean, it took a
Or
long time for me to come to terms with that.
yeah. Um, my take on that, that's why am I a part of any religion now? I am not.
Yeah.
And my choice was uh, I was not going to be a part of a community or religion that looked at my children, my offspring, and said they are not worthy.
I know,
And
right?
so I
I
was
can't.
like, yeah, I don't want to be a part
Mm-mm.
of any community that, I mean, I like my offspring. They're pretty stinking funny and cool. And yeah, so I created, we created our own community
Yeah.
where they are welcome, they are included, no matter what they think or believe. So,
Yep. Yep. And I like that sunken cost fallacy. We put too much in to give up now. And
yeah.
that's funny because I ran into that at a later point in my life where I was like, well, I've already blown this up. Do I continue on this path? Because look how much I've sacrificed for this. And now it, and so this must be true because I've sacrificed so much for it. And then when somebody comes in and starts doubting what I've, the sacrifices, my choices, I'm like, well, you don't know what it costs me to have this. And so I think that's another thing, is we don't always see the cost of what people have paid to be a part of the religion. Like in my mom's case, she was completely disowned. In Corey's mom's case, she was,
Mhm.
she disowned her family. And so the cost is so high at times that we justify that and think that it has to be. And so then when we leave, it's like, well, we have to know that we didn't just waste our time.
Well, I would say, I don't know. With me, uh, I've always kind of, for some reason, from a kid, tried to course correct. If I was going, wait a minute, I feel like what I'm doing right now is not working or is not
Right.
in the best.
But we're not taught course correction.
We're not, we're not taught that at all.
We're
And
yeah, we're
in
taught you
fact,
screwed up, you're damned for all eternity
well, and
now.
the dogma itself is that you have to hang in there till the end. You will be tempted. You will be told to leave the community.
Mhm.
Things will come up. Poor behavior of PSRs will make you question your
Yeah.
belief system. You got to stay faithful to that very first testimony you got, or that very first. Um, you're supposed to read the Book of Mormon and have a warm feeling in your stomach that it was true. And so, even though other things that you read in there, I don't agree with that. It's not true. Uh, but you were supposed to uh, stay faithful to that original and not course correct. And the rewards come to you after you pass on to the next life
Mhm.
because you stayed faithful in this life. And because of that, that's the most important thing. I've got to stay faithful no matter, uh, even when the community itself is now in a major lawsuit and they're wanting you to
Yeah.
donate money to get the leaders out of a pickle. And so,
Well, and I feel like too, course correction is AKA repentance. It's also known as repentance.
oh yeah,
And so I feel like we're taught that you can repent, but the stick of gum theory, have any of you guys heard of the piece of gum theory? It's heavily taught in Mormonism. It's heavily taught in the LDS church. It's heavily taught in AUB. And so it's like you have this, if you have a stick of gum and you chew it up, it will never be the same. It will never go back to being a brand new piece of gum. It's already been chewed and spit out. That's exactly how this is. That's what we're talking about here, is that you can't course correct. There's not what's charity. There's not a charity for course correction. Like, hey, I might have gotten this wrong. Let me just go back and reevaluate and then maybe move on. There's no room for that. It's like, no, you made it a commitment. This is what you're going to do. There's no way to say, to grace, to give any level of grace, not charity, sorry, grace. And so that's where I get really, and we both been recently going through our journals, and here I am, what was I, 13 in this journal? And it's like, in my journal, I'm like, I need a worthy priesthood holder that's going to take care of me and my children and get me into heaven. I'm literally saying this at 13 years old in a book. And so I feel like that is another one, another reason why I have this little note to myself on my computer that says, do I actually believe this, or was I taught to believe this? And I feel like that is a question that we are constantly asking ourselves, is, do I actually believe this, or was I taught to believe this? And the shame around, no, I actually believed that. I actually thought I was, because we don't know that we were taught to believe that. And so we shame ourselves thinking that we were fooled, and we weren't fooled. We were taught to believe something. And so we believed that we knew that to be true when we didn't. We were regurgitating what we were already taught. Yeah. And so there is a lot of shame around not getting it right the first time. And I feel like that's where I have tried so hard with, even with our kids. And I don't give myself as much grace as I give my children. Is because it's like, if you didn't get it right the first time, it's okay. Just try it again. My little granddaughter, she's like, oh, I messed that one up. It's okay. I'll just try it again. And I was looking at her like, oh my gosh, if we all could give ourselves that kind of grace, where would we be in life? But we grew up in such a high demand religion that it was like, you don't get to just try again. Now you're a piece of bubblegum that's been chewed up and spit out. You'll never be whole again.
And I just want to clarify we didn't get the bubblegum story because...
You didn't?
No, because we didn't have bubblegum up there in Montana.
You had tree sap?
Yeah. Well, that's why we had the licking the butter off somebody else's bread story, because we couldn't afford butter's
never going to be the same again.
Yeah. You guys had the bubblegum story down here because you guys could go to the grocery store and or the 7-Eleven and get bubblegum.
You really didn't have even...
We didn't.
You had a small grocery
We had a
store.
Community store, but that was a bulk bin.
That's funny
thing. So yeah, the bubblegum theory, yes, I'm sure I got bubblegum when I was a kid, but when they taught us the story, it was like, hey, what if somebody came and licked the butter off of your bread?
Now you're just stuck with a dirty piece of bread.
Daggone it.
Oh my gosh.
You lick it, it's yours. So
all right, I need to catch up on the comments. Seems like polygamy ends up being too demeaning and hard on one's self-esteem and makes it impossible to maintain self-respect. And how do you function at all without self-respect? I absolutely agree with this. Your nervous system is in fight or flight all the time. You have no self-respect whatsoever. And you basically, the first time that I ever heard progress over perfection, I was like, no, you're perfect. And every time you don't do something perfect, which is every single day of your life, you lose self-respect, you lose self-identity, you lose. And so again, why you're so easily manipulated by people, why these women do what they're told, is because they're so fallible anyways. Yeah. But yeah, self-respect is pride. We were taught that self-respect would be prideful. And if you are prideful, you have to be humble yourself to the Lord. You have to humble yourself to your leaders. You have to humble yourself to your husband. So especially for women in this culture, there is no such thing as self-respect. And that's what is so sad to me, because then, yeah, the way that some of the women act and treat each other, it's like, where's your self-respect, sweetheart? And they're like, what is that? What are you going to say?
Nothing. Just reading.
Yeah, I agree with this. That's so well said, Catherine. It is impossible to maintain self-respect because the perspective and power on how much respect you get comes from the patriarchy. Exactly. And we were so like, what were you going to say?
Nothing.
We were just talked down to all the time as women, all the time as children.
Yeah.
And so that is one of the biggest things I felt like when I started having children is I wanted to make sure that my children were respected. And I would literally tear the heads off anybody who would disrespectfully talk to my children. I was like, absolutely not. Because my dad would come around and he'd be like, go get me that. And I would instantly correct him. Absolutely not. You can ask him to please go get that for you. And if he feels like doing that, he will. But if he doesn't, then he won't. And my dad was like, what? And there was never a, can you go get this for me? Can you help me with this? It was go do this, go do that.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to do.
You were the priesthood holder.
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
I'm like, Dad, please is a word that you
Yeah.
can use. Yeah.
So.
Okay. I think fundamentalists contort the free will of others. I legit had a back and forth recently with my niece arguing a 13-year-old's free will. Yeah. I have always taught my children they have free will. They can say no if they want to say no.
Mm-hmm.
They do not have to do what we say they have to do when we don't typically tell them that they have to do. So that was something I had to really correct in you when we first got married. Not because you were saying it ignorantly or rude. You were just like, go do this. And I'm like, or ask him to go do that nicely. And I remember that was something with the older kids because my oldest was 9 years old when we got together. And they weren't used to being talked to like that. And you didn't say it mean or aggressive in any way. He wasn't. It was just like, hey, garbages need to be out. Go get that done.
Yep.
Or, hey, son, do you mind going and taking the garbages out for me now, please?
Or will you help me?
Yeah. Or will you help me?
Which I started to
lead by example.
Change. Yeah.
So I absolutely think a 13-year-old has free will. I think a 6-month-old has free will. And so
I really enjoyed my month. Well, I'm glad.
Corey, I enjoyed your one-man show. Again, we're still watching through this, and he's like, turn this off. We don't need to finish.
Yeah. Somebody asked if I lived off the grid. Did we live off the grid? To define, yes. The community I lived in, Pinesdale, Montana, had its own power station. They had some streams up there that would run the power station. So they ran their own power station. So most of the homes were hooked up to the Piney grid, and it worked kind of like priesthood blessings about 50% of the time. And so we had 2 wood fireplaces in our house. We actually had a really cool wood cooking stove too, so that we could cook on that also if the power was out. And if it wasn't, then you could cook on the main stove. We also had all of our hot water hooked up to our wood stoves. So in the summertime, when you weren't burning a fire, you were showering in. They had a electric 50-gallon water tank, but with
50 gallons for 40 people.
Yeah, with 39 kids,
you get half a gallon to wash your hair.
It was the cold shower. Is usually what you got, unless you got up early in the morning. So, and
Katie said, yes, we had water and indoor plumbing. Yeah, they did.
Yes, we did.
But it's all septic systems and stuff like that.
We had 5 bathrooms in our big house. So 5 bathrooms for 50 people. So
even still, when we go up there and there's big family get-togethers, it is crazy because there's somebody always in the bathroom.
Yep.
And they have the toilets blocked off from the main bathroom. So if you're using the toilet, you can use that. It's in one room. If you're taking a shower, that's in a different room. If you're doing your hair or makeup or whatever, that's in a different room.
Yeah.
They're all in one area, but they all have doors, and it's just because just for functionality of that many people.
And it was a laundry room too.
Yeah,
and so
there's a creator on Instagram. Her name is Kelsey King. If any of you guys follow her, she actually grew up there by Corey too, and they were part of the AUB too. And I've been following her for a few months now. Cody Brown's sister married Kelsey's father, so she was Kelsey's other mother. And so she's doing a whole big series right now where she went back and revisited their house up there because it's off grid. But yeah, your sister Katie says, realizing that I have lived in a constant state of feeling like I'm in trouble, this has wrecked my nervous system. I refuse to put my child through that kind of shame. Yep. I feel like that is one of the things that happens when you're a small child and an adult says, go do this, and says it so sternly, then you feel like, did I just do something wrong?
And I've actually looked at old videos and stuff and have apologized to my kids and cleaned up my tone.
Yeah.
So I've really worked on that from being a first time to...
Well, you went right into fatherhood too. So this is where we give grace.
I was dealing with my brothers.
Yeah.
And so,
and you went right into being a dad, and you did great. I'm not saying you didn't do great, but there was little course corrections that we needed to make at the very beginning so that my children still felt respected. And he still felt, that there was cohesiveness in the house. And
well, we just communicated a lot. That's the funniest part about, I felt like we communicated so much about parenting and what we wanted to create when we first got together, but we didn't communicate at all about
our marriage.
We
communicated about parenting.
We were
so focused on making sure that our children had better than what we did that we didn't even focus on our marriage.
And so when it came to the marriage part of you just didn't talk about it, or I knew you to a certain extent, you knew me to a certain extent, but the marriages I watched growing up, I would say they knew each other about 50%, and they were honest with each other about 50% of the time. There were things that they just couldn't be honest with because it would cause disruption with other members of the family if they were completely honest with their husband, or the husband was completely honest with the wife.
And most of the time you don't have time to have an argument like that. So you don't ever talk about deep-seated issues or get to the root of anything. And again, there's a lot of shame around that when things fall apart around you. And it's like, why didn't we handle that? Well, because we weren't ever taught to handle that, and we didn't take the time to handle it because there was too many other pressing things going on, and I've watched my parents do that.
And I've watched family members of mine who were a part of the AUB who decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to work and be honest about what I really feel about the religion and things like that. And they get taken in front of the
Bishop's Court. Well, Bishop's Court, just like this, all choices have consequences, good or bad, depending on the perspective.
Hi, Plig.
And timing. I know, it's good to see you again. We haven't seen you for a minute. A double barrel of damnation is always pointed at your head. So choose wisely and get your paper tickets approval.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're just saying.
Yeah.
When you're constantly in fear of damnation all the time.
And if you were completely honest with your wife, she might go, hey, I need a more righteous man, and go marry the PSR. And so I feel like that watching the marriages that I watched growing up, and that was literally, and following their lead, if you will, was the downfall of our first marriage. And then we go to marriage counseling. We go and start talking, being honest with each other. You know everything about me, I know everything about you, and we still choose to hang out and be together. And
I think that's a good point that you just said, because that is so true. We don't get to know each other that well before we were married, right?
Yep.
And I feel like just like what Plig Kid 69 said, you always have a double barrel of damnation at your
Mhm.
head. So you grow up instinctively believing that you're bad, or that there's something wrong with you, or that you're broken, because you're constantly being shamed all the time into compliance.
Mhm.
And so in the back of our mind, I remember feeling this way so much in my first marriage. If he really knew who I was, he would not stick around. And so that's a
Yeah.
fear that we live with all the time. If they really knew me, they would not be here, because there's no way I'm making it to heaven. And so we pile that shame on ourselves
Mhm.
because we're constantly being told all the things that we did wrong. I genuinely don't remember very many times being praised for the things that I did right. It was a constant correction all the time. And I don't know why this memory is popping up into my brain right now while we're talking, but in my family, everybody had to play a musical instrument. My dad wanted all of his children to play some sort of musical instrument. So I played the violin. I started the violin in the fourth grade. And one day my dad comes home and I'm in the bathroom practicing my violin because his birthday's coming up and we're all going to do this big, huge production for him for his birthday. Well, I'm the oldest child. My mom's at work. The only place that I could practice with any sort of peace without a baby on me or a kid on me was the bathroom. So I went into the bathroom and my dad was walking around the house. He got home from work and he was walking around the house calling my name. Well, I didn't hear him because I'm in there practicing. And he's calling my name, calling my name. I don't answer. And I mean, he has to say my name at least 3 times, which that is a no. You answer the first time or you're doomed. And so he comes into the bathroom because now he can hear me playing, right? And he's like, it flips the door open. What are you doing? Starts screaming at me. And my dad's favorite thing to do. My dad's 6'8" with hands the size of like a basketball. They're huge. And his favorite thing to do is put his hand in a knuckle like this and thump you on the top of the head with it. And I'm sitting there practicing and he thumps me like that on the head as hard as he can. And I'm just like, I just burst into tears. And in my mind, I was thinking I was wrong. I should have been out there taking care of the kids. But then I instantly gave my dad grace and went, oh, well, when he sees that I'm in here practicing, when he sees this for his birthday, he's going to forgive me. Not me worried about forgiving him for the way he just treated me. It was me thinking that he'll forgive me for not doing and being where I was supposed to be and doing what I was supposed to be doing. Which I mean, I thought I was, but at the time, and that was the problem is you just never, again, the rules change all the time. So it depends on who you're talking to and what's happening. But that was just one example of instantly I felt like I had done something wrong. And my dad would eventually see why I was doing what I was doing. So I don't know why that story was just coming into my brain, but this is one of the things that we can just be sitting there minding our own business and you get the shit kicked out of you by your parents. And again, doesn't happen in every polygamous family. This is just what happened in mine. And again, I don't remember one time my dad coming home where we didn't get beat to some degree. And it's because we were not doing it. And again, I think that's another thing why people defend when they come out of something is because you're broken. You're bashed around and broken. And
Mhm.
how many DV situations do you see where the woman's being abused and then she still defends the man? It's very similar. It creates a trauma in your brain that is very similar to that, where you've been so abused for so long that you defend the abuser or the abuse situation. Stockholm
Or the
syndrome type thing,
community.
or the
Yep.
community. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a long little tangent. Somebody says you did a great job on your solo. I mean, Mel, don't go anywhere, but if she was sick, I know you could carry the show for a day or so,
Yeah.
which is funny because I mean, if we're just totally honest, we were not talking at that time. We had gone 3 days without talking to each other. And I was like, I just need a break. I'm just done with YouTube. People know too much about us already. Like, I was just getting my ass kicked every time, everywhere I turned. And I was just like, I'm not strong enough to do this. And so he was like, fine, I'll go do it by myself. I'm like, fine, go do it by yourself. And so he did. And so, and then I'm listening to him.
Had good sense of humor.
I'm listening to him in the bedroom and I'm listening to him edit everything out. And I'm like, this mofo, this is going to take him forever to do this. And then later on, I told him, thank you. Thank you for showing me that you are committed to being a part of this
Yeah.
or supporting me in it too. And it actually turned out really good for us to have a conversation about afterwards. Yeah, because you recorded that, right? And then the next night is when we did the live.
Yeah.
And I came in and I just sat down, and then that was like the first time we had talked in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. I
said that she was being obedient to her dad and not talking on live. So
yeah. Yeah, even if you had hot water during the shower, a sibling could throw water over the curtain just to remind you.
Yeah. Or a hose through the...
So I don't know why. Whoever said put a window in your shower? That's a great idea. So
you had to escape.
The first time I go to Montana, very first time, I'm just meeting Corey's family and everything. I'm in the bathroom and I'm taking a shower. And out of nowhere, this window goes flying open and a garden hose comes flying through the window. And of course, it's freezing cold, right? And I am just like, are you kidding? And I screamed, oh my God, are you stupid? And he is laughing like a little schoolgirl outside. And
half my siblings were like, yes, he is.
I was so stunned. And he was like, who says that? Why are you questioning if I'm stupid or not? That was a moment.
Yeah. So yes, we had running water. We had all the stuff, running water, indoor plumbing. We just didn't have, I would say, enough. And I have learned many skills in my life. One of them is plumbing. I hate plumbing. It's my least favorite job to do in my whole life. And it's because we grew up in that house and we were constantly having to fix plumbing. Montana is cold in the winters, and there would be times pipes froze, things like that. We were always putting heat tape around our plumbing to make sure the water was flowing in the house. You had to have a fire going to keep everything warm enough so that stuff would work. Toilets would flush, things like that. So
yeah, I want to put this one up here.
So yeah,
shower windows equal rapture hatch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
got to have a place to escape.
Yeah.
Stuck on the ceiling. So
yeah. And it's so funny because it's true. When I went up there, I was just like, how do you guys now they've improved it a lot since then, now that a lot of the kids are moved out and gone. But yeah,
they went from 50 people living in that house to 20. So not very many. I mean, my mom's section has 2 people living in it, maybe 3 sometimes. So
yeah,
that's it. So now they're living
well,
like
and they
kings.
didn't even they had carpet. When I first went up there, they had carpet on the floor that came out of an old hotel. And that's how, like, you just used what you had. You used what you could. And I remember feeling like I could never let my kids crawl on the floor or I always made them wear slippers when we were up there. And this is down in the basement in Corey's mother's section of the house. And so I'd always have to take them upstairs to the second floor in Katie's mother's part of the house, because they had just gotten new carpet when we got together. And so I felt, and again, no shame in that. It's just what they had. That was what was available.
Half the Kerner kids were flooring guys all of a sudden. So we had an older brother that was into flooring. And so we all went and learned flooring and started installing flooring. So now got great flooring in all of the house. So
right. Thank you.
Growing up, we didn't. So
right. Thank you, Aaron Ladd, for that for that chat. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let me try to catch up here too. Glad you're back. It's hard to tell your story without backlash. It is. And the thing is most of the time I'm pretty secure in myself. I don't let, especially, I talk about it on here, but I don't really let a lot of the online shit that gets said affect me. It's just since there's been this separation with my mom that I have And some of the things that she has said to me have been pretty horrible. And so it has left me maybe wiped my feet out from under me. And so then I feel like I was more susceptible to other people's opinions of things that I normally wouldn't have been, because now it has me questioning myself. It has me doubting myself. And I feel like that's something that I'm healing through. Last Wednesday, one of my dearest friends ever talked me into going to the healing thing with her, and it was wonderful. And I feel like that was super healing for me. It was extremely uncomfortable for me because it was with a bunch of women, and that is not my comfort zone at all. And so, but because it got me out of the comfort zone, I realized that I was holding on to some of this. Like I had gone into a depressive state, and I was like holding on to this depression like a little comfort blanket. And poor Corey, I was taking it out on him to some degree. And so normally I wouldn't have let a lot of that affect me, but I think it just compounded like with a bunch of other, just stuff like that. And I talked to a couple of really good friends. Melissa, growing up in polygamy, is always she's such a support for me. And so I was talking to her for a while too. And so I think that I'm definitely moving out of that. It's just some of the things that my mom has said to me and about me to other people has been pretty harsh, and it's been pretty rough to listen to.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
No, it's just those people closest to you definitely know your things those slivers that are very painful. And so when they do that, it does. It's one of those things where it takes your feet out from under you. Am I doing the right thing? And then you realize, yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's they're working through stuff. We're working through stuff. So
and Melissa just gave me a whole different perspective of things too. So thank you, Melissa. She'll probably never watch this, but thank you. I appreciate our friendship so much. She's so amazing. And so it does help to have and for me, where I have always really struggled with women because of the way that I grew up, and I watched the hurt that women inflicted on other women, being around other women is not my comfort zone. And so I'm learning to put healthy, strong women in my life that can communicate with me in a healthy manner. And so I just genuinely appreciate some of that. And so, yeah.
I just had a question pop into my mind.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Yeah. Could it be that one of the reasons that you haven't been friends with women necessarily is because we grew up in a society where you guys were all in competition with each other? Okay.
Yeah. Women were constantly, you never knew who wanted to get with your husband, even if you were married and they were married. There's always that possibility that they could get divorced and come after your husband. And so, women were not safe growing up for me. And
so you're learning to create safety around that again.
Right.
So cool.
And so and to reach out and to be able to find support in other women has been huge for me. So so I appreciate that. Let's see. I hope Corey solo gives you a break, Mel. I do feel a little bit of anxiety when I see him alone. Like, oh no, mom and dad are fighting. If you know what I mean. Is that weird to hear? No, that's funny.
It is. It's awesome.
No, he was going to do it because part of me, I'm like, I have to force you to do this channel anyways. Why do you even care? Like, let's just call it. Let's just say what we did is good and call it a day and shut everything down and walk away from it. And he was like, no, we're going to do it. And so, I appreciate him. He's been poor guy. Not that he's faultless here, because he did some pretty stupid shit during all of this time. Let's just be real about it, because he did.
I opened my mouth. I breathed.
I
said some.
No, you did some other dumb stuff. Yeah. But that's where we find grace and love for each other. And so,
and talk about it and laugh about it.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm sorry to hear this. My name here, it says, I was definitely the whipping boy for my dad. I'm trying my darndest not to pass that abuse on to my kids. Yeah. If I agree. What do you
Plague Kid said, remember we chose
our parents in the pre-existence. Oh, and my mom's going to make me pay for that one, isn't she?
Yeah. But I'm kind of curious if that's the truth, then was it the same if we chose our parents in the pre-existent? Was the choice of my own free will that I just fought for based on their dogma, or did they guilt trip me into joining that?
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
there's a few other people that I would have probably, as a young kid, go, I'd rather go in their family. Let's choose. If we get it, if you guys get to choose which, just go talk to the priesthood leader and say, hey, I don't approve of this husband or this wife, and so can we do a reshuffle and how come we didn't get to do that as kids? Hey, you know what? These parents aren't living up to my expectation. I'd like to go into this family and try it out. So
Well, and that's why I
get a
thought it was so
high-ranking
funny that you
family.
chose this, the fear of offending, why former polygamists still defend the lifestyle. Because,
Mhm.
you know, even though, like in my case, my mom hasn't been a part of the group. I think she still believes in it, but she hasn't been a part of it for so long. And so, um, again, I have not ever talked about anything online that I have not previously discussed. And so that's why this whole thing blindsided me so badly, is because I didn't even see it coming. And so, but it's almost like that. Yeah, I can tear on my parents, but the minute someone else does, then it might be a little bit offensive. And I kind of feel like that's what happened with my mom, is that maybe I said something that she was like, wait a minute, you don't get to criticize that. Only I get to criticize that. And so, and again, I'm not trying to criticize my mom here. She has lived this way for 50 years. Like, that's deeply ingrained into you. And so then it becomes that everyone's a liar, or just me. So
Yep.
yeah. Oh, Rosa says, I didn't know that you were not on good terms with your mom. Yeah, we haven't talked since February. So it's been a while. And I don't know that we'll have a relationship at all until before she passes. Oh, what were you going to say?
And she'll correct you on that. You guys have text back and forth.
Oh, we have, yeah. Thank you for this. And yeah, we'll get through it. What?
Yeah, in fact, it's, you talk about, Corey, I've been able to make something think it's your idea. And so I think building up to us not talking and everything, it was, you're building me up going, you could do this on your own, couldn't you?
I got you. I know you can do this.
Made me think I could do this on my own, and then I did it, and I'm like, my goodness, she does so much in the background that I don't even.
I know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know. So I really appreciate. She has fine-tuned all of this stuff. I'm friggin' confused trying to get everything up and.
Well, I feel like we've both taken our parts that we do, because there's things that you do that I'm like, I don't know how he did that. Like, you throw little clippets of our lives and stuff up on TikTok and stuff. I don't know how that happens, but yeah, it's. But
we're fine-tuned to kind of, even though we're a shit show most of the time, but we've worked out a lot of the bugs as we've gone along, and you handle all of this and filler and everything like that, and I go into, okay, moving to the next
I multitask very well, and Corey's one project at a time.
So I would get a clip ready to go, and then I had to edit out 2 or 3 minutes as I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, how you guys, I edited that thing a lot. So
yeah,
as you guys can tell.
Yeah, I think it's so funny. Let's see, nobody can hurt you as much as family. Unfortunately, that is true. And what's funny to me is, again, it's the women in my family that are all struggling right now. It's the women in my sisters, my mom, sisters from other mothers. It's not even just my mom's girls, right? Yeah. It's like, and the boys have been extra sweet and reached out to make sure that I'm okay, even more so. And the girls have been very backbiting, and it's been very interesting to watch the different dynamics with that. And so again, I've said this on a lot of lives. I'm learning to not pick up things that don't belong to me, but it's still hard.
Not all the girls. She's got sisters that are supportive too. So it's just, they've got a lot of sisters in there. And so it feels like that yeah, she's got sisters that are supporting her too.
Yeah.
But yeah, sisters and brothers. So
Yeah. I missed some of the episodes, but when mom was on, you seemed close and she may be writing a book. This is why this came out of left field. Shocked the shit out of me. Had no idea this was coming. So yeah, I mean, I've taken care of my mom for the last several years with her medical issues and stuff like that, and I did not see this complete write off coming at all. It stunned me. It's mom saying stuff about you to others that is hard. It's her making people take sides. Maybe that's the not fun part. Yep, that's been the really hard part.
It's something that we've been looking at because we were raised by these parents. And so as we see things going on, we're like, oh, are we passing that on? Okay, let's work on that. And so it really has.
That's the biggest blessing.
Got us to turn around and make sure we're not passing that behavior on to our children and healing with our children stuff that is not being healed between our siblings.
And that's the best part of this entire thing is honestly, I feel like it has made me really reevaluate my relationship with my daughters and how am I showing up and am I carrying some toxic traits on? And so I've gone to all of my children and deeply apologized for some of the things that I realized I was doing to them because they were currently being done to me. And so I think that honestly, that has probably been the best thing that has come out of this whole thing is that I have really shifted my relationship, especially with my girls. So yeah, it's not all of a bad thing. It genuinely isn't. It's just, it's hard when I am the mother figure or the parental figure, and to sever some of those relationships is harder because I still worry about them. I still care about them. I still want to make sure that they're okay. And I don't always know how to, but some of the issues that I've created with my own children through this process of them, growing up is my children hold resentments towards me because I put my mom and her children ahead of my own children at times. And my kids have expressed that. Yeah, you chose grandma and her kids over us at sometimes because I felt like my kids had everything. They were deeply loved. They have every material thing, like their lives are very financially comfortable. They had the things that they needed growing up. And I didn't feel like my siblings always had that. And so I would put my siblings' needs and wants sometimes ahead of my own children's, not realizing that it was causing some of the emotional separation with my children that it did. And
trying to fix that.
Yeah. And I feel like now that I'm in a different stage of life, and I'm more aware, I refuse to do that with my grandchildren. I will not put my mom and my siblings in front of my grandchildren. And I think that's what's caused a lot of this separation too, is because it's like, well, wait a minute, you were willing to do that before and now you're not. Well, no, because now it interferes with grandchildren. And I have a more, I have some wisdom, I guess. I have some lived experiences that hopefully I'm learning from, and I'm reevaluating and readjusting some of that. So this has not been an entirely bad thing. It's not been an entirely upsetting thing. It's been very growth for me, but I have, like I said, it wiped my feet out from under me for a little bit, and I've had to readjust finding my center again, if that makes sense. Rosa says, I have a handful of really good, strong women friends, but it's a small circle for the most part. I totally relate to always being wary of those of who was pretending, but really after my husband. Yeah. So women have just been unsafe in my life, unfortunately. I'll send you some mama kisses from me to you, not trying to take her place, but want you to feel some mama love for me. Thank you. Thank you, Marie. You're always so supportive of us. Yeah. It's terrible when people you love hit you with hurtful, manipulative words below the belt. They know where to hit you. And that's funny because we just had this conversation the other day, and because my mom said some pretty mean things, that very hurtful things. And and Corey's like, of course she said that because that's important to you. And so that's where she hit you. And I agree. And I agree with that. Let's see. No offense here. Oh, come on. I was getting triggered and heavy here. I was so but I was so invested here, but I came to be dependent here. I realized I could find another source. I am still coming here as well. Oh, thank you, Jody. Yeah, it was getting pretty heavy. And you, of all people, warned me about that book club and said, "Are you sure this is a really heavy book?" And look, we're living with the aftermath of that still. So we appreciate how supportive you've been of our channel, and of us personally. Yeah, that book club was a doozy. What are you doing?
Nothing. I was just going to tell a story that when we were kids growing up, my dad was military. And so he used to do some, and my dad's first wife was also military, and she would get mad at him for using some of the military tactics of, or police tactics of taking a kid in the one room and start talk to them and saying, "Hey, your sibling said this or that, and so you need to come clean." And then they'd go talk to the other siblings, and it and things fell apart pretty quickly. And so we as siblings all made an agreement, because of the tactics my dad used on us, that unless we actually heard that sibling saying something, we didn't believe it, because dad would come and say, "Hey, this brother said you did this." And I'm like, "Well, he's lying. It's not the truth." And then he'd go back to that brother and say, "Corey said that you did this." And we would sit and be like, "Oh my gosh." And it was throwing so much slivers between us as siblings that we chose to have a secret meeting on the side, where if they were using those tactics against us, where we weren't all in the same room, and that we did not believe what somebody told us, which was a teaching lesson. I guess my father taught us to not believe, if one of my if we heard through the grapevine. He was trying to teach us about gossip, I guess. Not that I'm looking at the shiny silver lining of it, but yeah, he was trying to teach us how gossip really doesn't work. It's more those police tactics. So yeah, unless I talk to my brother and say, "Hey, did you say this about me?" Or they would say it to my face, then I would like, okay, I believe that they said that. But yeah, thanks to my parents' teaching lessons, we hardly ever believed anything that our parents said, that a sibling said about us. So
yeah, I think it's so funny. Okay, so I want to put this one up here. Don't get too caught up in what I'm about to say, but it's funny. I think Corey has to start love making videos live. I was like, I read that as you've got to start making love making videos. Like,
I got to start love making them.
Yeah. Okay. The way I read that initially was, you've got to start love making videos instead of making and loving doing videos. I was like, oh, that's going to be a sex tape somewhere. I read that so wrong.
I'm sure they're out there. So
yeah, it feels a little bit Home Alone when Corey goes solo. It's so funny. It does. If you step away from social media and posting videos, we at least need a goodbye. I won't be. We won't be. We'll be definitely doing it. It's just it just wiped my feet out for me for a minute, and I was spiraling down. And I mean, you could tell by our content. Our content was getting heavy for sure. And
she built me up and told me that I could do it on my own and encouraged me in that direction. So when that time came, I'm like, all right, let me see if I can.
Yeah.
And then I had so much more appreciation for what she does on the side. So
yeah. If a person can't take accountability and they hurt you, respond with a flat, boring, neutral phrase like, "I see it differently," or "okay," to deny them an emotional reaction. Exactly. And that's what I feel like I've been trying to do. Yeah, it's been crazy. Well, Ella, we're going to choose you here on our channel. Says, "No one chose me. It was made clear I was a horrible mistake, and I'm not." No one is ever a mistake. No. We are absolutely, I think that's one of the biggest lies that we tell ourselves as children that follow us into adulthood. But to us, it feels the truth, is that we were a mistake. And that is definitely not the case. let's see, I'm going to thank you so much, Catherine,
Or
for
that
the.
we tripped and fell and we're unredeemable.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. This is life is a learning lesson. So hang
Yep.
in there.
Okay. Let's see. It's so complicated. Thank you, Catherine, for the super chat. So that it's so complicated to love a parent who allows another parent to abuse. I imagine the pod is an all too painful reminder. Major failures. I admire you for not letting those emotions stop you from breaking the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And it's hard. It can definitely it's definitely hard when we have to talk about what happened and we talk about it from our perspective. And when that perspective gets, you're a liar, that's not true. You know, how many times have we said that to other people? You're lying. That didn't happen. And we invalidate someone else's experience. So this has taught me a lot of very really good lessons, to be honest. I'm grateful for the experience. I genuinely am, because I asked the universe to show me where I can heal so that I can be a better grandmother to grandchildren. And the universe was like, here you go. You get to do all this. So it's been good. Let's see. Yeah, this is so true. Sorry, Melanie, I get it. My mom can just look at me. I think it hits harder coming from family members, especially parents. I'm just trying to unpack all my stuff in therapy. Yeah. And this channel's been very therapeutic for us because we learned so much about like each other that we never thought to even ask or even talk about. So, let's see. Mel is the filler star of this show, our very own priesthood leader, Corey. That's funny. You need to make Corey a reward star chart so he can see how many skills he's achieved.
Exactly.
That's what Corey loved with Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah. Okay, you got to do Plague Kids 69 right.
And I'm
there.
trying to, I know cut. I'm like so far behind on
That's
the comments.
Brilliant. This is their life lessons.
Your responses to Bill's interrogation tactics really explain a lot about why you guys are so good at Secret Hitler. So there is a board game called Secret Hitler. And I struggle with this game because you literally have to look at somebody and lie to their face. And then as soon as the game's over, you start it all over again and you start doing it again. And we have to tell our kids, you cannot hold what happened on the last game into this game. Like it's a fresh start, right? But yeah, these guys, what were you going to say about it? I'll let you go.
It's genius. It is one of those things where those were life lessons that our father taught us. So another thing, our sense of humor, that was a hard-earned sense of humor.
We had to work hard for that shit.
Because if you were too funny or disrespectful, I remember as a group of children being called into, and I love my little brother Curtis to this day because that kid's sense of humor is top notch. Because we got called into, and there was a joke going around the family that we all thought was funny. All the kids thought was funny, but the parents did not approve of it. And so we get called into a family meeting. All the kids are sitting around, and my dad gets up there and goes, "Hey, you guys know what's green and slimy and crawls up your leg?" And we're all like, "Oh no, they've heard us telling this joke. We are going to get in trouble." It was going to be, we were in trouble for this this joke that had been going around with all of us kids. And my little brother Curtis raised his hand and goes, "I know what that is." And he's like, "Oh, what is it?" He's like, "Homesick diarrhea. You get it?" And my dad's like, "Yes, I get the joke." And he's like, "How often?" And oh my gosh, he added to that joke and my dad, who was so frustrated that we were telling this joke going around the family, all of a sudden kind of broke down a little bit too. It was like, "Oh, Oh my gosh. He was frustrated that he'd fallen for the joke, but
And then a
and
10-year-old
that
got him
yeah,
with
that
it.
he'd got him, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, you are brilliant." We all did get disciplined. I think we either got grounded or had to do extra chores or stuff like that, but we earned that sense of humor. So, my younger siblings got it handed down to them because they didn't get in trouble, but it took some work, uh, to get my dad to admit he had a sense of humor, and he did. And so, yeah. And after that, we kind of got away a little bit more
Well,
with telling other jokes
and
as long as
now
they
he
weren't.
encourages our
Yeah,
children with some of, I'm like, that's not funny. Like, we're always having to course correct our kids because
yeah.
our middle child, who feels like we never talk about him or never bring anything up about him because he's the middle child, he gets forgotten.
Has
Um,
a great sense of
has
humor.
such a great sense of humor, but he would go too far. And we'd be like,
Mhm,
dude, you can't, that's too far. You can't say that.
mhm.
That's so funny. But in school, in high school, the kid in the snow stamped out a male body part in the snow. And the teacher pulled him into the high, it's
Can't
in
be
high
doing
school.
this.
He's
Yep.
in high school. He's like, I'm going to have to call your parents. He calls Corey, and Corey dies laughing. And my son's like, I
I,
told you he's probably not going to care. And he's like, well, he's suspended for the day. We have to send him home. Come and get him.
that's not how it went.
Oh, how'd it go?
No, he just called and he's like, this is inappropriate. I'm like, it is
But
inappropriate.
it's funny as hell.
Yeah, but yeah, I can see how that's inappropriate. What are your
I thought you had to go pick him
things?
up.
I did. And
Okay.
then he went to um then he went to what is it when you're grounded in school? We
In school suspension.
Yeah, so he had to go and do some work projects and things like that. But he was afraid that you were going to kick his butt, and he knew that.
He knew you'd laugh at him, but I'd be the one who got.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, it's something that I mean, we as children did it in a different way. They had a big sign up on either end of Pinesdale that said
They changed it.
Pinesdale, and so we knew people were coming in. When we knew the PSR was traveling from Salt Lake City to come up
They
there,
changed the Pinesdale,
we
changed the
E
and
and
the
the I
I.
around.
And you can figure what that says on your own. We won't.
And we thought it was humorous. The PSR was very frustrated at the time that they would, and we, it's what Pinesdale was about, all these righteous men with many wives. And so we just renamed it, and they didn't approve of it. And so then they went and made signs on either end that you couldn't change the letters around on. So
Now they know who did that. You just publicly said who
you're
did that.
welcome.
Yeah. You're like, it was 20, 30 years ago. I can't
It
get in trouble
was.
for it
And the
now.
PSR's dead, and they got new PSR, and they know what the true name of Pinesdale was. So
Yeah. So spell that out yourselves. Okay. If we could all self assess and take accountability for ourselves, past and present, we wouldn't be so divided. Betrayal is a deep wound. I absolutely agree with that.
yep,
Um, let's see. Oh, I wanted to get to this one too.
so I just told him, hey, there's times that it's appropriate and inappropriate, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
was an inappropriate time. If you want to go up to Pinesdale and do that,
And do
that's
that
an appropriate time.
No,
So
but everyone at the school laughed because they were all at lunch and they could see out over, like, there's this big huge bay window type thing from the school, and so he's out there stomping this little male body part into the
just
snow.
walking in the snow.
Yeah, and he just was, messing around, just funny little kid. Somebody says, "Oh my, I wrote that out," and started laughing. Yeah.
Yeah, they wish they hadn't taught us to spell up there.
And let's see. Oh, Benjamin Brown a year ago did an interview. He asked his dad for a couple easy things he would like. A good luck text before an event, for example. Ben's dad didn't do it. Ben just got tired of getting disappointed by his dad and disappointed in parenting his dad. Yeah. I actually was going to reach out to Ben and see if he's kind of popped off social media. I know he's been doing other stuff, but he doesn't live too far from us. So I was going to see if he might want to do a video with us. Corey's solo was hilarious. Even the parts where he was trying to figure things out and the doll in the background, I had to rewind a few times. Wait, what did he just say? Somebody made a comment. I would love it if that doll jumped up and started talking to you. I'm like, oh my God, I would have paid money for that.
I screamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. The doll unnerves me, and they've got them all around here. So
If you
it's
could
a
see
childhood trauma of mine, I guess. So
somebody said the statute of limitations is up for you. You're good. If you could see our floor over here, because our daughter moved out, or she moved all of her boxes across country a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago. And that's where all these other dolls came from. Literally on the floor over here, we've got a dozen little dolls just laying there because I don't know what to do with them.
They're going in our Halloween box. So
yep,
nice and scary.
I love Corey's take on things. The solos are so good.
Yeah. So Melanie was saying, "Hey, I've been able to just put something in your mind to make you think it's your own idea to do it."
Suggestive conditioning.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, I probably could do a live all alone," but I felt like that my live all or my alone video was me putting suggestive.
Come and save me.
Yeah, but suggestive stuff in your mind that, hey, maybe I should join in and do some live or the videos with him. It's so much better and runs so much more smooth when we're both working together. So
somebody says, picturing Corey starting a bonfire with all the dolls. We should start sending them to you all. Offer the dolls as a giveaway for joining a live. That's a great idea too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you guys for everyone who sent pictures of you in the t-shirts. Thank you. I need to get permission so that I can show them because they're so great. What were we going to say?
Hey, well, yeah, we can do a free giveaway of one of these dolls for whoever's in the live. All of a sudden,
the one is really big, though.
We would have Robin Brown watching us, so trying to win a doll.
A PayPal account shows up that we don't even know, and she's buying dolls off of us. Yeah. That'd be funny.
Not Robin Brown. Did I win?
That's hilarious.
Not the real Robin.
Yeah. I keep trying with my dad to get him to invest in his kids, but I haven't gotten so much as a happy birthday text from him in 6 years. Yeah. Is he still in the AUB? I'm curious about that. If he's still in the AUB. I pretty much have come to that conclusion that I will not have anything to do with either one of my parents until they pass. And that's really hard because they're still alive. And we just had the anniversary of my brother's passing a few days ago. He's been gone for 3 years and it's sad, especially as a parent. I don't understand that. Like, you've already lost one child. Now you're willing to lose other children. That doesn't make sense to me at all. If I only had a few years left in my life and I knew that, I would be, I feel like I feel like it's so important to heal those relationships and do everything I can to make sure that I have relationships with all of my children. So I've never understood that part of it. And again, we talked about this. Where were we when we talked about it? The shunning that people, because, how a parent would shun a child. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I don't understand it. I never want to understand that.
I want to be on good terms with my kids. So
yeah.
So that I have more of a choice about where I retire to in my old age
than I did. Stick our ass in some.
Yeah. Than I did when I was born and had to choose a religion. So hopefully I've got on good terms with them, stuff like that.
Because they tell him all the time, you know what, you better be nice to me because I'm the one changing your diapers when you get older, and I am not going to be nice about that. So yeah, I don't understand that. I guess but it has made me focus on my children and creating a better relationship with my children now. And I already feel like I have a pretty good one, but there's always room for improvement. There's always things that you can do better or more of. And so this whole experience has really helped me in that area a ton.
They're always threatening me that if I get old and I need to be taken care of, they'll send me to the AUB old folks home where I have to go to church, listen to church.
I wonder if they let men live in that home too, or if it's because the AUB has an old folks home, I guess you can call it. And as far as I know, only women live there, but I don't know if any men have lived there.
No, I don't think they would, because most of the men have wives that are 30 years younger than them to take care of them. So they've got live-in nursing aides. So
It's true.
Right?
This is why they marry those young ones, so that somebody can change their diapers. I always have so many questions I want to ask, but once you guys are live, of course, I don't remember any of them. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you. Yeah.
Send
email
us the questions.
Yeah, you can shoot us an email.
I like answering the questions.
Yeah. And then I've been trying to be better about getting back at emails. I finally sat down the other day. Only one man can.
Live in the old folks' home at a time. It looks like.
So that they don't have to compete with each other.
Yeah. It's usually the PSR. So.
Yeah. The other day I finally sat down and went and responded to all the emails. I have 2 emails I have not responded to. And one of them is from a Rebecca. If you still watch us, I want to respond to that. I just haven't known what to say or what to do. And then I kind of just let a bunch of emails go back and forth. But I know this girl personally, well, not personally, but I know her brother personally, and one of my all-time favorite friends. And I just absolutely adore him. But yeah, I want to get back to that. But yeah, shoot us an email. I'm trying to be better about staying on top of the emails and getting back to people. There's a couple of them that I read and I was like, oh, I got to think about that one. And then I kind of just forget. Please do a live when you're playing these games. I need some family time without talking. Oh my God. No, yeah. They're so our family is so competitive. We have a chalkboard in our kitchen and, it like you keep tallies of who wins and who doesn't win.
And that was something that came about from our daughter,
from the Russian girlfriend, your brother's Russian girlfriend.
Put up
she was like, you guys need to go get a chalkboard and keep track of people's scores.
But Alicia had that first.
Yeah, she told Alicia to do it.
Yeah, and then we copied her.
Yeah, and so our daughter has one out in Florida. Now she lives in North Carolina. So now we have one.
It's a bragging. So when you walk in the house, you can go over and see who's the most talented at
and then when you hit a certain amount of points, then you get a champ point. And then we clear the board. And it has to start over again. Yep. So if you win 10 games, then you get a champ point. And then if you get 10 champ points, you get a super champ point. And so it's all kept on the board. And so when we have
super champ points don't ever get erased.
And neither do champ points, right? I don't think
they do. Once you hit 10, then they erase them and move them over.
Yep. So if you're in the super champ category, you are the best in the house.
You've won 100 games.
Oh my God.
That's a lot.
Who's in the lead on our super champ board?
Don't have to ask.
No, it is not you. You lying, you fool. You lying fool. No, it is
we'll
not.
take a picture and show you guys.
It is not. So, look at the vein in my forehead popping out. So all of a sudden all the competitive side of me kicks in. But our kids are all going to be in town. Our daughter's getting married in 3 weeks. I think it's 4 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. September 10th. She's getting married. And we're going to have all of our kids in town for a week. And there's going to be some serious gaming going on.
And the rule to get your name up on the board is 4 or more people. We have to play a game that 4 or more people are playing.
And we had to make that rule because when it's just Corey and I, we play gin together on lunch breaks during lunchtime, and he can never win. So he had to make the rule that there has to be 4 people so that I wasn't just annihilating the board. So.
No.
Yep. Notice how you stop talking?
We have notes to self. We have notes all over, but we have notepads just filled with losses. So
okay, and this is a very true story. I buy these notepads off of Amazon, and I buy them in the bulk because we use them to take our notes for like these big, huge, thick ones, right? And we keep score, and they're score pads too. So we have them for all of our gaming, and we do keep them so that you can always go back. And what was funny is our daughter's so stupid competitive, right? And then we get divorced.
We've trained really, really good competitive people.
And she married a very competitive man.
Yep.
And so and those two little kids kept all of the scoreboards of how many times they had beat us, because no one could ever beat Corey and I. We were the power couple. Nobody could ever beat us. And those two kept all of the scoreboards. And then we got divorced. And they were like, oh my God, we don't know what to do with these. And so then they threw them away.
After a year and a half. So they were like, oh, that's just insult to injury. So they threw them all away.
And then she goes, you two got divorced just so we'd get rid of the score pad, didn't you? I knew it. And I'm like, yeah, that was the whole reason we went through that whole ordeal, was just so that you guys couldn't prove you beat us at any games.
Yep.
Oh, I love this too. Fear and sadness can't exist when you're laughing your ass off. My stomach has hurt more times than I can count with these guys. Oh, it is. We just have to have a good time, and you have to laugh about things. And I feel like we definitely do. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, blink it again. So, yeah. Unfortunately, there are brand new assisted living facilities that are empty in the land of the holy, because old widows need a recommend to get into the
I'm trying to catch up with you.
Into those facilities up there. So you have to know the right people to be able to get.
You have to have a recommend to be okay.
To be, yeah. You might not be all there.
I know we're both like, oh my God.
So, because most people going into these facilities have had things go on in their life where they don't even remember honestly who they are. So, do you support this guy to be your PSR? I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, she can't get in because she doesn't support, or, yeah, I left that guy. I don't support him at all, but I've dumped my whole life into this community. I've spent all the years creating and building up this community. And because now I don't want to be married to the main head guy anymore, I don't get to go and live in the facility.
That's what's crazy to me. It's like my mom has been a very loyal supporter of the AUB her entire life, but now that she doesn't want to be with my dad, she would not be able to live in that. So we had talked about this home that the AUB had created for the elderly and widowed. Mm-hmm. And I got a bunch of people reaching out to me going, it's not what you think it is. Like, you have to, if you own a home, you have to assign that home over to the AUB in order to be able to live in this assisted living center. And I mean, I got a bunch of different people reaching out going, no, it's not what you think it is. And I just think that's so sad.
Yeah. It's sad when you're a part of a community and a religion all the way up until your husband becomes the leader.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, oh, they made him the leader. Okay. I'm good. So,
yeah. Yep. And I think that's so sad, because you can be loyal to something for your entire life and then not agree with one thing and you're out on your ass. And it makes me.
And to sign over all your income.
Yeah. I can see on social media now, notes to self 444, threatening people with dolls to get new members. Because somebody said, send them a doll if they become a member, or tell them you won't send them a doll. That's funny. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It would be interesting to have Robin as a member, just so she could see our dolls.
See our doll. Yeah, and again, that's why I was asking one of my best friends the other day when we were, and I'm sorry, and I agree with this. We parent based on what our parents taught us what not to do. But I was asking her, is this a 90s thing? Was this an AUB thing? And again, she was telling me, no, I just think it was a wholesome hobby that we could all do. And then it taught us how to sew, because we would sew clothes for these dolls and stuff like that. And so it was something that we did in the 90s. I think we literally have at least a dozen of them around the house, but most of the ones that we have are from garage sales or stuff like that. Like, they're just little ones that we would pick up here and there. I do have a set of porcelain Disney dolls downstairs, collection of like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, all those ones that I let my granddaughter play with too.
Yeah. Quick story. We lived in Pinesdale, Montana. It was scary. There was there was a few street lights in the town, but most of the times it was woods. And we would sneak out of our house and go through the dark woods down to my friend's house who lived in the trailer court right below us, and we would watch movies when his parents weren't around. And we watched oh my gosh, what we watched a movie and there was a clown.
It.
Yeah, it was it?
Yeah.
That was underneath the bed that came out. It wasn't.
That one was
Poltergeist or something like that.
Yeah.
We were dumb. And then we had to walk through those woods in the dark. So I've been a scaredy cat my whole life because of that. And then I marry. And so after that movie, I mean, my mom had 6 boys and finally got the little girl. So, I mean, I had a stuffed animal when I was a kid or when I was little, but every stuffed animal, because we had all watched that movie, disappeared, went away. We got rid of them. And so, yeah, now I'm a big kid. And she's got all these creepy dolls around the house that I didn't even realize. And then they'll leave me here all by myself, and I have to walk around.
Okay, so today I had a dentist appointment, and the whole house is empty, and it's not empty very often. And he's here all by himself. Yeah, and there's all these creepy dolls in here, and he's got to create this YouTube video live, and he's sitting in here working with all these creepy.
Well,
this man is such a pansy.
Yeah, I tell the story to my kids and to my grandkids. He is
a Robin trap, like a roadrunner.
Exactly. I tell these stories to my kids, but those stories that I tell spook me out more than probably them. I tell them it, and then I say, "Oh, I'm just joking. I'm just teasing." But my own mind is like, now I'm home alone, and there's all these creepy dolls all around me, and so I have to make sure that they're not moving when I'm not looking at them. So it's great.
So funny. Yeah, he is such a wimp when it comes to certain things. And he will not watch a scary movie. So when I went last week, when I went with my girlfriends, it was an overnight thing, right? And he's over here like, I'm gonna have to sleep all. And he goes, "That's it. I'm gonna get our youngest child. We're gonna go watch a scary movie." I'm like, "Okay, you go ahead and do that. You get to go to sleep by yourself tonight." And he's like, "Oh, good point. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that." Yeah.
So we watched Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And it was still scary. I forgot about the
Joker, Jester.
The guy who went and got little kids. So
yeah. Oh, Mel, you need to hide them around the house to mess with Corey. Oh, my little brother did. They were hiding them all over the place, and Corey had to find them. It was pretty funny. Let's see, when
they hide them and then they leave. Mm-hmm. And so then I find them later
because all of our kids live in their own homes. And so, yeah, when my husband and I got married, his parents shunned us. It's hard knowing that I'm the reason for it and carry a lot of guilt, but they believe that I am the adversary. Yeah, that's a hard one. I know your feelings. I got the same thing. Like I wasn't.
No.
I actually don't know that because Corey was the adversary in our relationship. Yeah. And my dad was like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. So.
I mean, you sit there and like, yeah, my parents, well, your mom didn't, she talked to me, but yeah, your dad, we were married, for 3-4 years. It wasn't till after, our first biological child was born that he started really having a conversation or talking to me. So
yeah, he did
up until that point. Yeah. It was like he was patiently waiting for our marriage to fall apart so she could marry a worthy priesthood holder within the AUB. So.
Yep. And this is very true. Okay. Let's see. Beth says to live in a senior housing for the AUB, you have to have a recommend. Be able to take your own self to the toilet, and you have to sign over all your income. That's insanity. Again, I think a lot of the rules have changed since my dad came into power, I guess, if you will. My dad is very, Yeah, he's very sticklerish with money, so I'll bet a lot of that. And then Rosa says, requiring a recommend is insane. Making them sign over their assets is criminal. How is that not elder abuse? I agree with you completely. I think it's absolutely disgusting if that's really what they do. And I mean, Beth does know because she has
elder abuse,
personal experience with them.
It's, yeah, the whole religion, child abuse, elder abuse. I mean, the abuse goes right on through from the AUB.
Yeah, I think it's
from birth to death, we will abuse you.
That's exactly, I know.
It's their motto.
I know. That's literally insane that if that's.
What's a recommend? A recommend is it's a passport for heaven. So you have to get into God's holy places. It is.
No, you're right.
And you have to get it stamped by a bishop or the PSR. And then every time you show up at any get together, anytime you need anything, anytime you want to speak to anybody, you have to show them the passport that Bishop so-and-so says that I was worthy enough to speak with you or to come into your building and be shamed. So yeah, here's my passport allowing me to enter your buildings or to do this or to go to a dance and so there's a few questions. I mean, that they probably ask, but one of them's like, do you support and uphold the living PSR? And you're like, well, yes, I do. Okay. What did you think of the last PSR? Well, I didn't like him too much. All right. Okay.
Now you're just making shit up.
No. Do you think marrying a girl at 16 is bad? And if you say, yeah, I think that's probably pretty horrible, then you don't get a temple recommend.
He's making that up.
Oh, okay.
No, but basically it's your papers that says you're worthy enough to be in the AUB. The Mormons have it. You can't go into a temple without a recommend. It means you follow all the rules, and if you don't, you lie really well because you lied to your bishop to get the recommend. But no, it's a way that they can prove that you are worthy enough to go into their building.
Either way, you're going to hell. If you tell the truth, you don't get your temple recommend, you're going to hell. If you lie about it and go through and get all the stuff and then it comes out later that you lied about
you're going to hell.
You're going to hell. So
this shame and guilt thing.
Either way, you're going to hell. So
yeah, I think this might be your little brother. Virtual existence. Hello, you silly gooses.
Well, hello, if it's my little brother.
I think it might be your little brother. That or it's our oldest son, because he loves to say that on the job site. Yeah. And then he says, trying to catch up here.
What was he saying? If that is my little brother.
Yeah, he says Montana is creepy. I lived in West Yellowstone, Lewistown, and Cut Bank, Montana. Maybe it's not me, your little brother. I just thought it was. He says that all the time. You silly gooses. And then our oldest son says that all the time too. Oh.
That's right. Well, okay. So everything I guys told you about the questioning for I wouldn't know. I've never had one. I've never had a
temple recommend.
Yeah, so I don't know what they ask.
I've had.
It's just some of the things that. Yeah, it's just some of the things that I think they should probably ask different questions and then kick the people out that or not let people have the temple recommend who think a certain way. But I know their questions aren't there because most of the people in the leadership position do think it's okay to marry somebody 30 years.
No, I have a recommend downstairs, an old recommend that I had. So yeah, they just ask you a list of questions, and if you agree to all of them, then you can actively participate in their rituals and ceremonies. So
again, I guess so. Respect your elders don't apply. So sad. It depends on who the elders are. So you're supposed to respect your leadership elders, absolutely, and you can get in trouble if you don't. But yeah,
Yeah. It's
then you can
4:44 right now. That's
disregard.
said. Yep. Yeah. Then you can. And I know a lot
Oh,
of people who lie. I didn't think you could do that. I did not lie when I got mine. I told the truth, but I didn't realize you could lie.
she's not
That
very good at Secret Hitler.
I'm not very good at secret Hitler. I cannot look my child in the face and absolutely lie to them. I cannot do it.
And it was a
Um,
skill we were raised with. So
Corey, why did your
thanks.
dad not come to our wedding?
Um, well, so
We
what he
have
told me,
our
yeah,
ideas.
there's, uh, so my dad had been excommunicated from the AUB, and he was excited that I was getting married. He probably didn't think I was ever going to get married. And so he's had many.
I think he had a lot of shame around
He
it
did. He
too.
had a lot of shame. And unfortunately, I was marrying into a family that was in good standing in the AUB. Um,
And my dad
uh,
was not the leader, but he
she
was
was,
high
he
ranking.
was
He was a
what they
council
called
member.
a council member. And he said to me that he did not want to show up to my wedding and embarrass me uh, because a council member might be there. Well, the council member's not showing up
My
either
dad didn't come
because
either because of who I
he's
married.
not going to approve of her marrying me. I've been excommunicated. I'm no longer worthy to even be a part of that. He's not going to support her by coming to her marriage. Um, and my dad's not going to embarrass me is kind of what he was thinking, and he wouldn't have. I was excommunicated too. We would have been two guys sitting there just hanging out. I would have loved to have my dad at my wedding.
Yeah, because it does suck because
It's
he came to several of Corey's
yeah,
siblings. I think yours is the only wedding he didn't go to.
yeah. There's other siblings that he hasn't been to, but yeah, he didn't. And it's because of the illusion of the family I was marrying
Yeah.
into. Uh, they didn't care for me either. So he could have shown up and it would have been great. I would have loved that. It would have been but he chose not to. But I had three mothers show up and support me and love on me. So I
Yeah.
appreciated them coming down and supporting me in my marriage. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It was,
and by the time he got around to my second marriage, he was gone. So I couldn't invite him to that one. So,
but I know, but it was still painful. Like it
yeah,
still
it does
stings
suck.
and it still sucks because, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you've had to do some healing over it. And
Yeah. I wish he'd shown up. I would have been super proud to have him there because because he was in ways like me. He had been excommunicated too. He wasn't worthy of this community's stuff. So he was more than welcome. It would have made me super proud to have him there. Um, and even if your dad had shown up, your dad wasn't talking to me, so I was super proud. I would have been super proud to have my dad there.
well,
So.
and for my dad not coming too, more of my siblings were pissed off and upset about it than I was. And they called my dad and ripped him apart for it. And he called me and he's like, "Were you mad I wasn't at your wedding? I just figured I was already at one of your weddings. I didn't really." I'm like, "Dad, I've come to all 5 of yours. Like, why can't you come to mine?" And so I just told him, I'm like, "Well, it would have been nice to have you there." But he was like, "Well, I had priesthood responsibilities." My dad will always choose priesthood responsibilities over his children all day, any day. It's not even a question. He will absolutely choose priesthood responsibilities unless it is a graduation from a school. If you are graduating high school or college or something like that, then he will make those a priority. If which is funny because he didn't care if he didn't care if his girls got educations, but he did care um if the boys got education. So yeah. And then virtual existence is not your brother.
Okay.
They used to go by Chickadee. Remember, I think remember that.
Okay.
So yeah.
I have been more supportive of your dad than he ever was of us because I've been to every one of his weddings since I've been a part of the family. Not to the weddings, but to the.
Yeah.
to the receptions.
Yeah.
Even at expense.
Did your family try to stop your relationship with Mel? Only the ones who were active in the AUB. The other ones did not. Everyone else was like, no. This girl is amazing. She's awesome. You better tie that down. We can't even believe she's dating you.
I don't think they went that far. They were like, congratulations. This looks like a really good matched up pair. It's amazing. We support you in every way. But there were some of my siblings that were part of the AUB and were stuck within the protocol that she couldn't leave her first husband, that I was unworthy to, and they felt like that I had, I don't know, cursed her or I'd done something to her that would make her throw away her eternal salvation to be married to me, because I could never take you into to heaven. So they didn't understand that.
Right. So he did get some phone calls from some of his brothers who
were at the time part of the AUB and concerned.
And I was annoyed because one of his brothers, it was one of his good friends that was one of my good friends. And I didn't put all that connection together until later. And they were concerned about my eternal salvation. And they knew that Corey did not have the ability to take me into heaven because he was excommunicated. So therefore I was at risk. My children were at risk.
They were still wrapped up in their beliefs. And then they saw us get married, and then they saw us have children, and they've been supportive. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What the heck? And I feel like that almost in some ways made them, I'm not going to take credit or anything like that, but eventually some of them have left the AUB because of, holy crap. Yeah. These guys are great and they're damned to hell. So
yeah. And my family was not as supportive. My family was like, what are you doing? This is a child. You're marrying a child. Because he was he was a video gamer.
Had a sense of humor. Was sacrilegious.
That he was 29 when I started hanging out with him. Almost 30. Well, I guess you were 29. And so my family was just like, my sisters were like, what the hell are you doing? Like, he needs like...
Had a job, was keeping all of my money, so I wasn't paying tithing to
but yeah, my family was not as supportive, but not the reason I say that now is because then when we got divorced, my family was like, get out of here, Mel. We only want Corey. Like, we're done with you. No one in the family
became very supportive.
Any use for me at that point. They're all like, we only love Corey. You suck. And so it flip-flopped real quick. Okay, we're going to go for about 10 more minutes, I think.
I got to leave here.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah. Let's see. Is just sitting there an AUB common thing to say? I know people tease Robin online for saying it all the time.
Just sitting there?
I don't know. I've never really noticed that. Although...
We were just sitting there?
Yeah. How did you learn how to hike? I don't know. I was just hiking. How'd you learn how to be a prophet? I don't know. I was just profiting. If you watch Netflix's documentary, False Prophet, that's what Sam Bateman says.
You can't just profit. You have to hand down your seer stone.
Yeah.
So
it
get
very
a nice
well
shiny
could be
seer stone and pass it down so that they can. That's where I'm confused. How can these guys prophesy in the AUB or these other things if they don't have the real seer stone?
I don't know. Maybe they do, and we don't know.
That I need to get what your temple recommend. Maybe I'll do that. See if I can get a temple recommend. Go and see the seer stone. So, but if I was really nice, your dad would show me the seer stone. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm being.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, I don't know if that is something that is normally said. It's not anything that's ever been on my radar. My favorite Cults to Consciousness interview was with Sam's sister. Yeah. Yeah, she's good. Yeah, thank
Sam,
Sam Bateman's sister.
oh,
I came directly through
we
a
have it.
Samuel Bateman, not this Samuel Bateman, but another one. He was higher up in the LDS church or in the church for a while. So I thought it was funny when his name was Sam Bateman. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, Corey's going to be out showing houses tonight. So we are going to probably wrap up here. Does anyone have any one last questions you're dying to ask us before we?
And Melanie says that. I just need to reiterate my family tree forked. So,
Mine did too.
oh, okay.
Yeah, mine did too. Both of my parents were converted in.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you sell seer stones in your merch page?
I do.
That is a great idea. That would be, I don't know. Is that considered sacrilegious?
No, you can get Revelation. I just sell the nefarious kind of seer stones. So
Yeah.
it is considered sacrilegious, but it's also funny. And so I, yes, it's sacrilegious based on
Yeah.
the community
Not
that we
Corey
grew up
asking,
in.
hello, sir, can I see your special stones?
I probably could admit, hey, I just need some lottery numbers. I'll pay a full tithing. Come on, let me peek in your hat.
That's hilarious. Do you go into the bathtub? Well, the hot tub every night together. I don't mean that in a dirty way. We do. We used to be like every day. We never missed going out into the hot tub, but we hit a couple 100-degree days around
Yeah.
here, and at night it's not cooling off, and so we haven't as much as like we do it at least 4 or 5 times a week, I would say.
Yeah.
But not
Because we're old and you
Yeah.
need to relax, and we got some Epsom salts.
I bought some
relaxing
minerals from the Dead Sea, and so we put those in the hot tub too. And then we have a stereo system in the hot tub, and so we play a frequency through the hot tub, and yeah,
Relax
it's just one of those things that just winds down your mind. And then there's been a lot of astrological events lately. We don't get to always see all of them because we just have too much light pollution here. We used to be out in the middle of the farm country, if you will, and now we're city center, it feels like. So
we have upgraded our hot tub. We started out, we live in Utah. It's usually 100 degrees outside. And so at the beginning, it was just a little wading pool that we fill up with water, let it sit
we called
a
it our
couple
white
days,
trash hot tub.
and it was a nice hot tub. We'd go out there and just chill in our hot tub. And so, yeah. And so we've had some form of
Our little
pool
girl,
or hot tub.
the one getting married, she comes out in her little swimsuit one day, and I go, "What are you doing?" And she's like 4. She goes, "I'm going to get in a white trash hot tub." But it was just a little wading pool for the little kids, and we would empty out the water heater into it so that they could have a little wading pool, and it was wonderful. They loved it. But I've always wanted a hot tub, so this is our 4th year with it. It's something that we've recently bought, and it has just been really healing for us, and I love it. This is a great.
Melanie knows everybody and has met and talked to everybody out throughout Utah. She knows everybody. And so, yeah, we were shopping around, and one of the girls that worked there helped us get into.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
a
I knew
hot
her.
tub.
Yeah. I did a healing class. Well, I've done a million healing classes
Yeah.
too, and she was in one of the healing classes that I did, and absolutely adored her.
She's amazing. So,
Yeah. Somebody says our house is coming down at all yet. Still feel inflated and a bit, and rent is crazy for adult kids. It is, and you know what? And then someone else later says we should give tips for young people to buy houses. So we work not all the time, but primarily we went through a period of time where we primarily worked with first-time home buyers. And that was because I just feel like everyone, if you can and you want to, should own a home. And so all of our children own homes, all except for the one that's just about to get married. She's 22, but she's looking for a home.
Well, she's a real estate agent.
And she's a real estate agent now too. She got her license. And so but our older 3 children own homes. And I almost had to beg my oldest child to buy a home. And now it, fortunately for him, but unfortunately for our economy, has doubled in price. And so now he's got several $100,000 of equity in it. And I'm like, see, buddy, this is exactly why I wanted you to buy a home. And it just gives them more of a stability for their children. So yeah, we love to work with first-time home buyers, and especially younger ones. And where I do the lending, Corey does the real estate end of it. But again, I feel like every young person, if they can, and houses, I agree with you, are stupidly overpriced. And at the same time, it's still smart to buy a home.
It is. Yeah. I felt like when we were buying this home that it was way overpriced, especially for things that other things that we could buy. We could buy something that was used and rehab it or fix it. And we were building this home so that it fit and I'm like, this is way overpriced. I am now showing kids
homes in the $400,000 and $500,000.
2-bedroom, 1-bathroom condos for the same price we bought this home at.
Yeah.
So it's
no, you can't find anything in the valley for the price we paid for our home. Yeah. Our home is 5 times its value since we built it in 2002, and it is 5 times its value since then.
And my grandmother went up driving around. She got a home in Kearns when we were younger. We'd go and hang out there, and they had a mortgage for, I think it was 16 grand is what they paid for that home.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So
when I swore that I would never
go up.
When we sold,
best time to buy is now. Sorry.
Yeah. I owned a home when Corey and I got married. And when I swore that we were going to build, or we weren't going to buy anything over 200,000, we ended up spending more than 200,000 for this home. But, I mean, it's a pretty good sized home. We're not quite half of an acre, but it's a pretty good sized home, and it has done our family very well. And now it's like, we don't need this much home, but I'm so glad we did build it when we did build it, because we've been able to house all 5 of our children, plus at least a dozen other like random kids. We've housed some kids as they come out of polygamy and need a transition house. They've lived with us. And so, yeah, there's a lot of different options out there to buy homes. And a lot of people think you have to have a down payment. You really don't. There's so many different government programs and stuff like that where you can buy a home with no money down or very minimal money down. And so it really is, I love trying to get people into homes that never thought they would own a home. My favorite is I helped this single mom get into a home, and she cried and cried and cried. She was just like, I think this is actually before you were an agent. Because she never thought she'd own a home again. She had just gone through a horrible divorce. So we love doing first-time home buyers. They're one of our favorites. They're a lot more work and a lot harder than just somebody who's selling a house and rebuying one. But it's the reward at the end I can't say enough about it. This is funny. What did you do over summer break, kids? White trash hot tub time with the mom and the dad. LOL. What's funny is our grandbabies. So my daughter-in-law found on Facebook Marketplace this inflatable slide. It is stupid huge, and good thing we have a big yard. And so the babies, they tell us we're not babies. One's about to turn 8 and one's about to turn 7, and then 2 3-year-olds. And they go and they freeze their little butts off on this little slide because the water's free. And then they run over and they hop in the hot tub and get warm. And then we give them popsicles in the hot tub because it doesn't make a mess, and it's just a great place to.
Because I clean the filters.
Because Corey cleans the filters, and I'm just the grandma that's like, absolutely, you can have whatever you want. I like this one: sear and whiskey stones. Serve it cold and stare into your glass. You'll be amazed.
Oh my gosh!
It's like you read our weekend.
That is genius.
No,
I do have some of those stones. Ooh.
Float your dolls in the hot tub for Halloween. That'd be funny. Okay. Yeah. Average home prices in Australia is $1 million. Oh my gosh. So we're about to hit that here in Utah. $1 million is about an average home price. And
our median's 600.
Our median
650
home
right
price
now.
right now is 600,000.
Yeah.
But the problem with Utah is we're kind of an anomaly over the rest of the world because everyone here, they call them McMansions, because everyone here has such large families that the average size of a home here is the minimum of 2,500 square feet, but most of them are 3,000 or a little bit more square foot.
Mhm.
So that gets a little tricky because when you're selling a home that's 1,000 square foot in California for $1 million and you're getting what, 400,000 or $400 a square foot, $600 a square foot. And then you come to Utah and you try to pay that for a $3,500 square foot home, you're in the millions now.
Mhm.
And so I don't know how some people are affording it. I would never go pay $1 million for a home, but that's about where our house is
my
right now.
gosh.
So
Okay, now you got my mind thinking. I'm going to look into that.
what?
Punky Beat, whiskey, sear stones in a drawstring, nefarious revelation bag. That would be brilliant.
That's
genius.
That's funny.
I need them for myself. So
yeah. All right. Well, we went a little bit over, but thank you guys all so much for being here. We have another video dropping first thing in the morning. We're getting back into watching Sister Wives, and we're going to try to bust out a season before the new season starts. And everyone saw that Janelle got a new boyfriend, which is awesome for her. And
that is
I'm super excited and happy for her.
That's going to be the one that hurts Cody the most, I think.
Oh my God. We were laughing so hard. The very first time I saw it, I was like, $100 says that just slapped Cody so hard.
And I love, what is her name?
Madison?
No, she's
Slightly High Historian, which we still have not met with her. We were going to meet with her at the end of June, and we haven't done that yet.
She is genius on her. She puts everything together perfect. I love the way she does the memes. I wish I was that good at memes because she puts memes together like I'm thinking. So I have the memes in my head, but yeah, she's brilliant funny on it. So
yeah, and everyone's wondering if he'll be in the new season. I think he will absolutely be in the new season. So,
okay.
Yeah, they're still filming.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I absolutely think he's gonna be in the new season. So it'll be kind of interesting to see that. That will be very fun. So we're going to try to get through all of season 5 in the next couple weeks. So we have that video coming out first thing in the morning. It's scheduled, I think, for 9 a.m. Eastern time is when it's scheduled to come out. And then, we're over here going to just bust out we're going to try to get as many videos as we can out before all of our kids get here for the wedding. And then we're going to take a week and hang out with wedding stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Let us know if you have any questions. And the girl who forgot all of her questions, just shoot us an email. I'd be happy to answer, get back at you. Everyone have a great night.